all the books I read in 2023. This is what this video is going to be about. Hello, my name is 𝘊𝘶𝘳𝘳𝘬𝘯𝑗, aka Mike's Eve, and honestly, I'm proud of myself that I even read last year because I entered 2023 with a goal in mind. My goal was originally 50 books, but I kept track in Notion. I think I read around like 15. No, let me actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I read 11 books last year, which is an improvement considering for the past, my feet are about to fall asleep. Considering for the past like 4 years, I have not read a book. So last year was definitely an improvement from my previous years. This year, I do want to, okay, if I read around like 12-ish, 11 last year, I'm guessing like 20. My goal is at least like 20 or 25. I feel like is a reasonable goal. I actually did already finish my first goal of this year. It was called The Book Proposal by 𝘤𝘰𝘶𝘯𝘵. And I checked it out from the library like the last week of December. I finished it in January. It took around like 2 weeks because I was picking it up, like I wasn't reading it consistently, but this book was amazing, y'all. Like I loved it. So maybe like just read a book every month, or like 2 books a month is my goal. But this is going to be my top 5 books of 2023, and yeah, starting with number 5 and just going down from there. So I have Goodreads pulled up just so I can like give a brief summary, because I did like kind of forget what these books were about. So starting off with the 5th one is On Her Good Side. I'll put like a picture over here, by Rebecca Weatherspoon. And it is I read a lot of YA fiction books just because like, I don't know, I feel like that's like my type of books I do enjoy reading. And okay, so let me give like the first paragraph of like maybe each book. So 16-year-old Bethany Green, though confident and self-assured, is what they called a late bloomer. She never had a boyfriend, date, or even a first kiss. She's determined to change that, but after her crush turns her down cold for homecoming, declaring her too inexperienced and all her backup ideas fall through, she cautiously agrees to go with her best friend's boyfriend, Jacob. A platonic date is better than no date, right? Until Skylar breaks up with said boyfriend. So they do go back. It does take place in a high school setting. She does come from like an athletic family. She plays basketball. This guy, what's his name? Jacob, the guy she pretends to date, he is a photographer for like the school's paper. So there's this like whole thing, and I loved it. I thought it was like just so cute. So I gave this one, I rated my books out of 10, which I regret doing. I should have done it out of 5 stars. I gave this one, hold up, what was this book called? Oh, Her Good Side. I gave this one a 10 out of 10. 5 days, or 10 out of 10, and it took me 3 days to read in August. That's how good it was, and I finished in 3 days. Okay, so number 4, let's exit out this tab, is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. And y'all, this book was so funny. Okay, I remember this book. So the first, okay, so there's 2 characters, a boy and a girl. I love these rom-com books. Like, oh my gosh, I think like they're so cute. It's like, I just like reading them because I love them. Okay, so there's 2 characters. Obviously, we have Bradley Green. Oh, this is by Taylor Hibbert, and she makes it twice on my list. So Bradley Green is pretty much perfect. He's a football star, manages his OCD well enough, and comes out on top of all his classes except for one. Oh, except for the ones he shares with his ex-best friend, Ceciline. I don't remember reading that in the book. Oh, that's the main character's name. My bad. Ceciline. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Oh, and her last name starts with a B. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Is a conspiracy theory obsessed social media followers eat up her takes on everything from UFOs to holiday overconsumption, yet she's not cool enough for the popular kids table, which is why Brad abandoned her for the in-crowd years ago. At least that's how she sees it. Oh yeah, they were besties back in like, you know, grade school. It also takes place in the UK, I think. I think that's where the author is from, because I think it takes place in the UK. But this book, I gave it a 10 out of 10, 5 stars, and I finished it in 1 week because I thought it was so cute. And just like the back and forth between the characters, I really enjoyed it. I really like how I don't know how, let me Google how to pronounce this name because I want to make sure I am saying pronouns. Celine, my bad. Celine, like her character, I thought I loved it. I loved her. I thought it was just a really fun, cute book to read. And number 3 on the list is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by 𝘊𝘰𝘶𝘯𝘵 Hibbert, same author. And this book, it had me laughing. This book was so funny. I gave it, I finished it in 1 week and 5 stars. And the author, she has 2 other books. It's like kind of like a series, and it involves her sisters. So I didn't know that until I finished it, and I was like looking on TikTok and I was like, oh my god. But this book is so adorable. Like, I love how this book did have a point of view from like the girl and the boy, and I really do like that back and forth because I feel like it makes it more engaging as a reader. So I'll share the summary. Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. After almost but not quite dying, she comes up with 6 directives to help her get a life, and she's already completed the first. Finally moving out of her glamorous family's mansion, the next items: enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but a hand luggage, and do something bad. Okay, I might have to like, okay, so I gotta talk about this red guy. So Red Morgan is a handyman with tattoos, a motorcycle, and more sex appeal than 10,000 Hollywood heartthrobs. He's also an artist who paints at night, who hides his work in the day of light, which Chloe knows because she spies on him occasionally. Just a tiniest, tiniest bit. So as you can kind of read from there, you can kind of see where it goes. And I just thought it was so cute. And oh my gosh, I loved it. Number 2 on my list is, I've been wanting to read this book. No, I don't even know. I think I saw it, like I heard of it, and I just never got to it. But Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Morano Garcia. And I gave this book a 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Yes, and it took me a while. It did take me about 3 weeks to read. And I just thought, like, because I really do love like mythology, like Mexican mythology, and it did incorporate that into the book. And what I also did enjoy about this book is she had like a glossary for all the names in the back. And I'm gonna uncross my legs. So let me see. The Mayan god of death sends a young woman on a harrowing, life-changing journey in this one-of-a-kind fairy tale inspired by Mexican folklore. And this book was something out of like what I usually read, because it did involve like, it was just something different. So it did take me a while just to like comprehend it more and reread certain lines so I can get a better understanding. And it did take me at least like until I got to the 50th or 60th page to get into it, because I was like, I know this book is good because I read the last page and then I looked it up on TikTok. But I was like, it was really hard for me to get into it at first, but once I finally did, I was like, oh my god, this shit's so good. It does take place in the Jazz Age, and obviously in Mexico, and they just basically go to different Mexican cities. I believe they also do cross into the US, and it's just really interesting. It was an interesting take on like just the Mexican folklore. Like it made it more enjoyable and like easier to read, and I thought it was just so great. I do want to read more books by this author, Sylvia. She wrote the Mexican Gothic Girl, something like that. And I did try reading that. Like I gave myself like 2 weeks before like the end of the semester to read it, and I couldn't finish it. But that is another book I do want to read. Number 1 book on my list, which I still think about it. All these books, with all these books, I'm like literally still stuck in that like mindset, like their world, and I get like just so disappointed that I finished it, and I'm like, I can't believe, like, because I get like all worked up, you know, and I can't believe like the book is gone, like it's done. I'm like, what can I do about it? But the first book, and I still talk about it, I love this book, is How 𝘊𝘶𝘳𝘳𝘳 Fell in Love with the Universe by Rachel Vasquez Gillian. This book is 5 stars, y'all. Like this book, I love it. Let me see how long it took me to read it. It took me 3 days. That's how long it is. Like that's how good it was. Okay, so it's a romance starring a Mexican-American teen who discovers love and profound truths about the universe when she spends her summer on a road trip across the country. When her twin sister reaches social media stardom, 𝘊𝘶𝘳𝘳𝘳 accepts her fate as the ugly, unwanted sister hidden in the background. Destined? Is that right? Destined to be nothing more than her sister's camerawoman. But this summer, Moon also takes a job as the merch girl on tour. On a tour bus full of beautiful influencers, and her fate begins to shift in the best way possible. Most notably is her bunkmate and new nemesis, Santiago Phillips, who is a grumpy, no, I know how to say this word. Combative. Is that the right word? Oh my god. And also hottest guy Moon has ever seen. She certainly hates Santiago, and that he hates her back, but as a chance and destiny and maybe possibly close proximity. Oh my god. Proximity. Bro, I cannot say words. Oh my god. Bring the two of them together. I love this book. I thought it was just so cute with the characters, but also their mom. Like it was, this girl threw a knife at her, like the mom, and it was so fucked up. It's so fucked up. So it's like, and it's like oh my god, like it's her childhood, but also how her mother still treats her throughout the book is like terrible. And also what her sister does. This girl, her sister pissed me off. I thought she was the biggest bitch, but it's all good at the end. And I just thought it was so cute, and I really like how they like brought up like the whole influencer thing. Well, those are all of my top 5 books I read last year, even though I didn't read that much, but I still read more than the previous years, so that's an improvement. I just thought I'll share because I've been like subscribing to a lot of like new book talk YouTubers, and every time I do read a book, I do make a TikTok, and just because I think it's like just so much like funner. I think it's like makes other people want to read the book and just to kind of see how I perceived it. So yeah, that's all I really got for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully the summaries or like just short descriptions that I gave, you go check them out because I think these books were amazing. I want to film like more book talk content or like book content, but I'm like, I don't read that much, especially like this semester. I don't know how much I'm gonna be reading, but I do enjoy these books. Is something I did enjoy back when I was younger. So if you have any recommendations, I also do have a list on my Notion. Comment down below your top 5, or like just your top 5 books of last year, or just like your top 5 books in general. I am open to like reading other genres. Like my favorite book or series in high school was the Maximum Ride series, and I want to reread the whole series just because I loved it. Yeah, so I really got. Thank you again for watching. Just give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below and subscribe. Thank you again so much for watching, and goodbye.